Why do people watch esports? Because we like watching exciting matches between people who are good. We want to see the guys who are masters on these champions, who can make situations happen out of nothing at all and just light a spark that consumes the entire game by making a single outplay. And that's what you're going to get to watch at Worlds.
Plenty of damage available, but will they even stop the Baron as the smite? Oh, he gets to kill the juggler! Who's gonna get it? Oh! You gotta be kidding me! Can you believe that Baron steal?
Over the last decade, League of Legends has pushed gaming into a different stratosphere, with its popularity helping legitimize video games in the mainstream media, and its impressive competitive scene paving the way for future esports. In 2017, the League of Legends World Championship Grand Final took place in Beijing's Beijing National Stadium, the same stadium that's set to host the 2022 Winter Olympics. The massive crowds that filled the stands paled in comparison to the individuals who tuned in online, making it the most watched video game event in history. This year, Worlds is heading to South Korea, on the biggest stage esports has ever known.
Worlds is the biggest League of Legends competition in the world, bar none, period, no exceptions.
Going to Worlds for me was one of the biggest achievements of my life. It's still something I look back and be like, you know what separates me from a lot of the other players? I went to Worlds.
Worlds is such a Herculean task for these guys. They have to go, and as soon as they've grinded out everything that they need to do to win summer finals, now they go to like a boot camp to get ready for Worlds. And Worlds is such a long event over all these different weeks. Like getting there, then the real work begins. So it is like crazy what these guys go for, and yet that is the goal for them, right? Is to go to Worlds and to hopefully one day win it.
I feel like the fans, once a year, they get to rally around their nationality or like their regional pride.
Every single region comes in with their own type of strategy, what they think is the best strategy that they can come up with through a year of preparation. They come in and they test to see if the strategy is the best against the other strategies in the world.
Teams that do well in Worlds are just, that's what people remember for years and years to come.
SKT rocks Tigers in one of the greatest 5-game series ever played in League of Legends, let alone at Worlds. That famous Ash Arrow that Prey shot out cross map and hit Duke, who was trying to recall back to save the game. The place is sold out, absolutely packed. The arrow starts to go across the map, and all of Madison Square Garden falls silent.
Look at the arrow!
Worlds is the largest celebration for League of Legends internationally, and it's a prestigious milestone for those who make it there. But the world stage wasn't built overnight. Today, we're taking a look back at the history behind that legacy.
Considering the growth of Worlds is a crazy journey. Back in season 1, back in 2011, we did it in partnership with DreamHack. So it was over in Yonkaping at a kind of bring your own PC festival. We didn't even host it ourselves. And there was honestly a question of whether it should even be put online, whether people would want to watch it on streaming. And, fortunately we did and saw hundreds of thousands of people show up, which blew the minds of a lot of people here. Because it was like, oh, people wanted to see this played seriously. In 2012, we went to the Galen Center and we saw, we filled out a professional style basketball arena. In 2013, we went to the Staples Center, one of the most iconic venues in North America, and sold that out within minutes and delivered an amazing show. So we went to Korea, we sold out a World Cup stadium. We went to Germany, we sold out the Mercedes-Benz Arena. We went back to China, we did the Bird's Nest, like one of the most iconic stadiums in all of the world. This is the place that held the opening ceremony for the Chinese Olympic Games. Like, this is a place that has national importance in China, and it sold out instantly.
Flying over to Sweden to shoutcast the League of Legends World Championship for 2011. At that time, it was called Season 1. And it was cool because we definitely didn't know who was going to win. Like now it's like, okay, it's Korea, but maybe China. But back in the day, it was really exciting to try to figure out who was actually the best.
North America versus EU is always super heated. That rivalry is always going to be there whenever our teams meet each other. You've got the Koreans who are like the 90s Bulls or the current version of the New England Patriots, right? They seem to win everything. It's like, who's going to actually beat these guys?
The history of North American Worlds, unfortunately, has been failure for the most part. It seems like we send good teams and we have great players, but they just never convert any of their success when they have to play against, especially the big Korean teams or the big Chinese teams, or even some of the big European teams have given us a lot of struggles over the years.
Fnatic are going to go through to the semi-finals, taking down the North American champions, Cloud9.
And it looks like Samsung Galaxy will
This is the first time North America has made a semifinal at Worlds in 7 years.
Cloud9 in the top 4 at Worlds!
The achievement itself, like just as making semifinals, is already massive. And the fact that they went through a Korean team to get there, who have long been considered the most single dominant region to ever play the game, and that has been true at every World Championships except this one. Like, that short path at Worlds in and of itself is insane for any North American team to do. It does validate that the region is extremely strong and like can compete. No longer can other regions disrespect the West or consider them not viable title contenders when it comes to future international events. I think no matter what, the strength of the West from both EU and NA and their representation in this event has already proven that come MSI, come Worlds next year, that these are teams that you must be prepared for.
Invictus Gaming, the last hope of the LPL, will battle against Fnatic, the first world champions, hoping to be the latest, the last hope of Europe, the last hope of the West.
With the growing success of events like Worlds, it's clearer than ever that esports are here to stay. Earlier this year, it was reported by Forbes that brand investment had increased 48% year over year, and that by 2020, revenue could reach over $1.6 billion. So what could a billion-dollar future look like for esports?
I got a chance to be a part of a conversation with the Olympic Committee about their understanding of the esports community and the esports community wanting to understand what the IOC is about. I was most concerned about protecting the perception that in some way esports needed the IOC. I think there's value that the IOC definitely brings to esports and esports brings to the IOC, but if there can't be a marriage where things are serve the community of esports, then I don't think it should happen.
Currently, I think there are games that are leading higher than what the Olympics will give them, you know? League of Legends World Championship, the Dota TI, these things are gigantic and already kind of pull themselves up by their bootstraps without needing any more. It would be amazing to be in the Olympics, more eyeballs are great, but I don't think it's a necessity at this time.
It's not as important to me about whether we catch the World Cup or whether we beat the Olympics or whether we're in the Olympics or whether we're not. For me, it's just about how many fans can we go out and how many can we show a great time. And for me, that's what Worlds is really about. It's the pinnacle of competition. It's the best time of year for all of our fans. It's the must-see, can't-miss shows. And so, as long as we're kind of tapping into that spirit, we'll see where the viewership ends up, and I just trust that it'll be in pretty good shape.
Thank you for joining us on our 8-part League of Legends mini-series exploring all the reasons why League of Legends is one of the most interesting stories in gaming.